My name is Paige. I'm 28 years old. I met my husband Thomas, who is the same age as me, at work. Right now, we work in different departments, but we still work in the same company. Today is our second wedding anniversary, so we are celebrating together. Usually, I leave for work an hour earlier, and I get home an hour earlier, so I am going to make a feast before my husband gets home. The cooking is complete. All that's left is to wait for Thomas to come back from work. But, he's late. He's way too late. Even though I was waiting and waiting for my husband to come home, he wasn't coming back. Wait a minute. Don't tell me that he's forgotten about today. Actually, my husband could be a little bit airheaded and forgetful. But this morning, I had told him to come back early because today was our wedding anniversary. And during my break, and before I went home, I had also sent him excited messages to remind him. Surely not. That's what I thought. But even though I called him, he didn't answer. And then I waited another hour. And finally, my husband came home.
I'm home!
You're late. What were you doing until now? Even when I called you, you didn't pick up. Even though I had decided not to get angry, I was irritated by my husband, who came home in such a good mood with musical notes all around him, and I ended up yelling at him. But even still, Thomas was still in his good mood.
I told you that I was going to go and see David, didn't I?
No, you didn't. David is my husband's friend and somebody that I also know well. They go to dinner together from time to time. But why today of all days?
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't tell you? But also, what's for dinner today? Looks like it's a super big feast. If this was going to be dinner, I shouldn't have eaten before I came home. If it was going to be a feast, you should have said something to me.
I did tell you. Not only once, not only 3 times, I said it 5 times to you.
What? You didn't tell me.
I said it yesterday and this morning, and I've sent you multiple messages, and I even left you a message to your voicemail. When my husband checked his phone, his eyes opened wide and he had a shocked look on his face. Is this response a joke? Did he seriously forget?
Oh, that's right. I got a message from David, and my plans with you flew out the window.
What the heck is that? I never imagined that he would be this forgetful.
That reminds me. David got a new girlfriend. I went and met her today, but...
What? You're going to continue that conversation? You're not going to apologize at all about ruining our wedding anniversary? Well, let's see here. He's trying to change the topic.
And that girlfriend was actually this girl named Michelle, who was my classmate from high school. And I was super shocked when I saw her. Like, when did they start dating? When did they get reunited, you know?
No, he's not trying to brush it off and change the topic. He's also forgotten that he's completely ruined our plans for our wedding anniversary. Seeing him happy about his friend's happiness made me feel like a small human being for being so angry. There were a lot of times that I would get irritated by Thomas's nonchalant attitude, but sometimes it was also endearing. Oh, come on, Thomas. But as long as David is happy, then that's good.
Well, about that...
Hmm?
Well, about Michelle, apparently, she used to like me back when we were in high school.
What?
She ended up telling me when David stepped away from the table, and then I ended up getting her phone number as a secret from David too.
Huh? What? What is this guy? Has he forgotten that I am actually his wife? What do you mean exchange phone numbers? Are you trying to have an affair with David's girlfriend? Even though I thought my anger had gone away, it ended up coming back, and multiple times stronger.
Obviously, that's not the case. But I just wanted to prove to you that I'm not lost goods anymore. Isn't it nice to have such a popular husband?
No, it's not nice at all. Obviously, I wouldn't be happy about my husband exchanging phone numbers with a woman I don't know. Plus, that's rude to David.
But it was Michelle who said we should engage phone numbers, so...
Stop talking about Michelle!
What? I can't even say her name?
That's not the problem here. If you end up messaging that person secretly, I'm also going to tell David and we're getting a divorce.
What? Alright, fine.
You might think that I should just let them message each other, but even though that was back in high school, I couldn't help but to be worried about him messaging somebody that used to have feelings for him. It seemed like my husband also understood, or so I thought, but this guy ended up going beyond my expectations. The next day, after we finished eating dinner at home, as I started cleaning up, next to me, my husband started touching his phone. Thomas, can you at least clean up the dishes that you used yourself?
Wait a minute. I'm just gonna respond to Michelle's message.
What? What did he just say? Didn't he just say Michelle? Who are you responding to? I thought I misheard him, so I decided to double check.
Michelle, did you already forget that I talked to you yesterday about David's girlfriend?
I didn't mishear him. No, Thomas, have you forgotten that I told you that if you message her that we're getting a divorce? This time, I'm not going to let him get away with saying he forgot.
I remember you said that I messaged her secretly. That's why I'm letting you know openly that I'm messaging her.
That's not the problem here. Don't just cut out the parts that are convenient for you. Whether it's secretly or openly, it's obviously not okay. What are you thinking?
What? But it's just messaging. What's the big deal? You shouldn't get mad over something this small.
Something small? If you are messaging her secretly without telling David, then it's not something that small.
It's not like I'm trying to become anything with Michelle or do anything with her anyway, so it's fine. Well, even though that might not be her intention.
Huh? What is that supposed to mean? Thomas was grinning as he showed me his cell phone screen.
Look, my friend's girlfriend says that she likes me.
Huh? On the screen, there are lots of hearts and messages like, "I've always liked you, Thomas. Even now, messaging you makes me nervous. I'm constantly thinking about you, Thomas." And there were multiple messages of evidence of her feelings. What the heck is this? This is completely out.
It's hard to be such a popular guy, but I'm not planning on having an affair or anything like that, so I'm safe.
Obviously, you're not safe. I wanted to take his phone and throw it into a lake. As I was thinking that, Thomas's phone screen changed, and he was receiving a phone call, and that phone call was from Michelle.
Oh, what is this? Does she want to hear my voice right now?
You're not going to answer that, are you?
Hello? Sorry, I was caught by my woman, and I couldn't reply to your message. No, it's totally fine.
It's not fine. Thomas started walking off towards the shower with his phone in his hand, so I'm just gonna wait until this fun conversation was over. Obviously not. I quietly went behind him to the shower room, and I began recording my husband's conversation as he was trying to whisper with this woman who is up to no good. And because it was in the bathroom, well, of course, the voices echoed. He may have thought he was whispering, but I could hear the entire conversation. I don't care what happens to an idiot like this anymore. After I heard their conversation, I contacted a certain person and I sent them the voice recording. 1 week later, even after that, my husband and Michelle were exchanging messages constantly, right in front of my eyes. Maybe because I wasn't saying anything, it seems like he had completely relaxed about it, but he was too naive. Every day, he was speaking at home to me in such a good mood that he was probably at work in such a good mood too. Because we were in different departments, I don't get to see him normally while he's working, but maybe today I'll go and check on my husband is doing for the first time in a while. It seems that my husband had just come back from a business meeting outside, but when he got home, he was taken to the meeting room by the department manager. Of course, I'm going to go along so I don't get caught. And I began peeking in.
Sir, is it just me, or do you have a scary look on your face?
I wonder why that is.
You, Jonathan. I'm disappointed in you.
I agree, extremely.
You're fired.
What? But why?
Can you say right here what you've been doing up until now?
Well, I was going out and doing some sales work for a new contract.
And what company is that?
What? All kinds?
What do you mean, all kinds?
I forgot.
There it is. He's so good at saying he forgot. I didn't think that was what he was using at work too, though.
You forgot? Listen up. This isn't school. It's not a preschool either.
I'm sorry.
But, well, if you forgot, then I guess there's nothing I can do.
Oh my, how kind.
If you've forgotten, then why don't I remind you?
What?
The manager took out his cell phone, and he was showing my husband something. Although I already had a pretty good idea what that was. But then I could see that my husband's face was getting more and more pale by the second.
Now, do you remember?
Well, you see...
You've got some nerve slacking on your work and having an affair.
It wasn't my intention!
What the department manager was showing him was clear evidence that my husband was meeting up with a woman secretly during working hours. And I'm sure that woman was Michelle. Actually, when my husband was whispering on the phone in the bath. When I go out for business meetings, I'm usually slacking so I can meet you. I overheard him say that. Not only that, but because he had clearly stated the date and the time that they were going to secretly meet, I decided to inform the HR department and the department manager. But there was an employee who was slacking on work and having an affair.
Over this last week, in the afternoon, it seems that every day you were slacking on your work and secretly meeting this woman.
Why do you know about that, sir? Wait a minute. Did Michelle tell on me?
I don't know what your mistress's name is, but you know, you've got some nerve having an affair on company time. Well, you were in the running to be part of the company restructure next year, so I'm sure the CEO will be relieved with this.
Restructure? But why me? It's only recently that you found out I was looking, right? If he knew that I've been slacking for years, why didn't you come and talk to me about it in the first place?
What? You've been slacking on your work for years?
What?
I completely thought this was something that had only happened over the last few weeks. But I didn't think that it was over the last few years.
Oh, no, well,
The reason why your sales record was the lowest in the entire department wasn't because of your problems with your memory. It's because you were slacking on your work. Because you were Paige's husband, and you were the CEO's nephew's friend, we cut you a lot of slack, but you've crossed the line.
No way. Wait a minute, sir. I don't know who the CEO's nephew is.
Are you being serious when you say that?
Even the CEO had his hand on his forehead. Because I felt sorry for him, why don't I lend helping him? Wait a minute. Did you forget that you were able to work at this company thanks to David?
Paige!
When I showed up, my husband looked shocked, but the department manager seemed relieved. And then, as if he was passing the baton on to me, without saying a word, he high-fived me. You can leave the rest to me. I gave the department manager a look. When you failed at getting a job and were about to be unemployed, David begged the CEO to give you a job at this company. Did you forget?
What? I don't remember that happening.
Seems like you forgot.
You forgot, you say? Even though you were crying to me so much, telling me that you were never going to forget this favor for the rest of your life? Ah! David, why are you here?
And Thomas's friend David also appeared. Because I told him that you were secretly meeting up with David's girlfriend and that you were trying to repay the favor with insult and to be careful.
Huh? Why would you do such a thing? But no, more importantly, how did you contact David? Well then, David, he must have been having an affair with Paige!
So stupid.
Hey, don't tell me that you also forgot about Paul. Paul? Who's that?
Are you serious? You've forgotten about your wife's older brother? No, this is a severe illness.
What? Paul is my friend. What? Paige's big brother? And you? You're friends? Listen, the four of us, including Paul, have gone out to eat together and have even gone out camping together. You forgot about that too?
Yup, looks like he's forgotten. But you know, seems like he also forgot that David's uncle was the CEO of the company. While you're working, you were having an affair with your savior's girlfriend and then boldly doing it in front of your wife. It's practically the same thing as begging to be fired.
So just as you wish, you're fired. F-I-R-E-D!
After fighting this idiot alone, the department manager was exhausted.
No way. And plus, David, you don't need to get mad about this. It's not like you were married or anything. Even if we weren't married, to be secretly contacting your friend's girlfriend, that alone is unacceptable. Not only that, but you were married, and you went and had an affair. It would be more crazy not to be angry about that. And plus, getting fired wasn't just about the affair. Not only were you slacking, but you were endlessly at the bottom of the sales reports every year. Did you already forget about that too? Oh, sorry. Of course you've forgotten. Because you forget about everything. Oh. But I'm glad this is what happened. My uncle was also happy that we would be able to fire you. And Paul and I don't have to keep up with a guy who always forgets about our plans and doesn't show up, more than anything. I can part ways with a guy that's so quick to have an affair. I should be grateful to you, Paige.
Yeah, we're getting a divorce.
What?
Well, I told you that if you were messaging her secretly, we would get a divorce, right? And not only that, but you're gonna be unemployed and riddled in debt, right? Would be more crazy not to divorce you.
Debt? But I'm not in any debt.
Not right now, you're not. But it's a standard that you pay the full settlement fee for an affair at once. You have zero savings, right? And of course, because we're getting a divorce because of what you've done, there's no separation of assets. And so, you have no choice but to go into debt to pay it.
No way. But I don't want to get a divorce. It was just a small mistake.
You had an affair with your friend's girlfriend, and you betrayed both your wife and your friend. What do you mean it was a small mistake? What? Did you think that saying that it was a small mistake will get you out of anything? How scary. But also, first of all, what do you mean a mistake? Do you know what the meaning of a mistake is? A mistake is something that happens when it's out of your control. However, you were contacting Michelle constantly, and you chose a time and place to secretly meet and have an affair. Don't you call that a plan, not a mistake?
Well, that's...
Oh, that's right. You forgot that you had made the plan to begin with. Knowing you forgot that you had made plans to secretly meet, and you convinced yourself that you ran into her by coincidence and it wasn't a plan. You just ran into her in the heat of the moment. You had an affair. Right. Of course. That's what you call a mistake. Well, whether it was a mistake or a plan, I have no intention of forgiving you. And also, somebody who has an affair as a mistake instead of a plan is even worse. Because without thinking about anything, you're hurting your friend and your wife.
That's true.
Although anybody who cheats while having a plan is also trash anyway. I guess it's like comparing an acorn with an acorn.
I'm sorry!
My husband was cornered, and finally, he started crying.
Yeah, that's right. When I got you this job, I remember you coming crying to me with that much noise. Well, it seems like you've completely forgotten about that time as well.
I'm sure he's going to forget about this too.
I'm not going to forget. I promise I'm going to apologize and regret this. So please, spare me from getting fired and from the divorce.
Oh, wow. It's amazing that you remember that you were fired.
I completely thought that you were going to forget, and that you were going to come to work tomorrow as usual. Obviously I wouldn't forget.
Just in case, you should probably write it on a big piece of paper and tape it to the front door. You got fired and got a divorce, and you need to pay a full settlement fee to make sure you don't forget about that. Easy.
Settlement fee? I forgot about that. Pfft, this is useless.
My ex-husband was fired from the company, and also I divorced him. Just as declared, he had to go into debt to pay the settlement fee. Of course, I had Michelle pay the settlement fee as well. Now Thomas was single, but he also had no feelings of dating Michelle seriously. The two of them were unemployed and riddled in debt, and they ended up breaking up. But since Thomas was so forgetful, it seemed like he forgot that he needed to pay rent and pay his bills. And now he's going deeper into debt. Well, since he doesn't have any money, even if he did remember, he wouldn't be able to pay it. I moved, and I am enjoying my life. To this day, I go out to eat with my brother Paul and David.
Hey, Paige, you're not thinking about getting married again or anything like that, are you?
I don't know if I can think about that yet. What about you, David?
Yeah, I think I'm fine not thinking about marriage for a while.
Same. Well then, after all that, let's cheers. Well then, cheers to a new beginning for both of us. Ishishi. It's not easy to forget about such a bad experience, but when I'm spending time with people that I can trust, I'm able to forget. Someday, I hope I am able to meet a partner that I love, and that this experience becomes something I can laugh about. Who knows what will happen? Ishishi.
Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!